The sky above 3Com Park was postcard peaceful, and the pregame puddles were more placid than the pregame huddles.
Our whole motto just gonna be 3 words. Shock the world. All right? Shock the world on 3. 1, 2, 3. Shock the world! Yeah! All day, baby, all day!
Let's go now. Be greedy. You want it all, baby. You want it all.
Steve Young and the 49ers would assert themselves early in the first quarter after Minnesota punter Mitch Berger suggested that the Vikings were alive but barely kicking.
There's the kick, and he really shanked it. It goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. What a break for San Francisco.
Well, that's one of the worst kicks you'll ever see.
While Brent Jones flipped at the opportunity to get the 49ers near the end zone, there was confusion about the appropriate play call.
Big backs. And a 1? You big backs.
Why? Why? You big back. You big back. Why?
Floyd dives to the goal line. He's there. Should be a touchdown. Yes, for San Francisco. San Francisco scores, helped enormously by Berger's bad punt.
But the Vikings mounted an immediate response when Chris Carter got wide open for a 66-yard touchdown pass.
Fake jab rolling right. Now looks for a throwback perhaps. Coxon fires it downfield. There's a man there. It's Carter at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Mike.
Steve Young retaliated by clicking with his young receivers J.J. Stokes and number 81, Terrell Owens, who showed soft hands and a hard shell. After a Terry Kirby touchdown gave San Francisco the lead for good, the 49ers defense asserted itself.
Off to Kirby. Big hole, left guard, touchdown, 49ers. Cunningham rolling to his right, throws will be hit. Norton, interception down the left side. Nobody stops this play. Touchdown, 49ers.
Blitz by Tim McDonald made Randall Cunningham throw it right to Norton.
Either Cunningham didn't see Norton or couldn't get the ball on target. Threw it right to Norton. He had a walk-in touchdown, and you cannot win ball games against the 49ers giving him the easy takeaway touchdown, and they led the league in that this year.
Wow, what a break for San Francisco, and what a read by Kenny, who was in perfect position. 23 down.
All too often, Randall Cunningham was forced to throw into tight coverage, and the result was just 18 completions and 40 passing attempts. Hampered by an ineffective running game, Cunningham was left with few viable options. Although he faced deficits of 17 and 24 points, Cunningham never quit, and he finished the day with 331 aerial yards and 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them in the second half.
And looking right, Cunningham fires, low grab made, Matthew Hatchett. Oh, touchdown, Vikings reaching out an arm like Inspector Gadget. Got it across the goal.
But in this game, the hometown team dominated.
We could run 68 handoff, possible over, right? That type of stuff, okay?
Minnesota only rarely put a rip in Steve Mariucci's game plan. But the 49ers' balance tipped the scales in their favor. With number 40 William Floyd leading the way, Terry Kirby was able to rush for a career-high 120 yards. Kirby's running and a mistake-free passing performance from Steve Young enabled San Francisco to return to the NFC title game for the first time since 1994.
To the end zone, it is caught. Owens catches the ball, takes a long step in, touchdown 49ers. One giant step for Terrell Owens, 1 touchdown for San Francisco. He caught the ball at the 1, wasn't there, turned around and literally just stretched his leg out as far as he could.
The 49ers quarterback unveiled the Brigham Young Boogie. Well, even if Young isn't Soul Train material, his moves in the pass pocket were perfectly choreographed. J.J. Stokes' 9 receptions for 101 yards helped Young direct 4 touchdown drives, the final one coming midway through the fourth quarter.
Kirby slipped, still got into the end zone after taking the handoff over left guard. Touchdown for the 49ers.
Nice job, Terry Kirby. William, great job. Great job. JJ, nice game. Hey, way to get up that side.
Their end zone celebrations demonstrated that the 49ers are full of fight, flash, and funk. Well, maybe not funk, but they seem relaxed and ready for their next postseason challenge.
Hey, feel good? How you doing? Yeah, next week, Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Whoever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Steve Mariucci's first championship game will be the 49ers' 10th since 1981 and their 5th of this decade.
Brent Jones' story should be an inspiration to every young football player, and that is, don't you ever give up. But, Nick, what about the 49ers next year without him?
Well, they're certainly not going to give up, Lenny, but there's a great analogy here. I think if you look at the Dallas Cowboys, when they lost Jay Novacek to retirement, that offense never recovered. Brent Jones in San Francisco, without him, there'll be a real void.
Brent Jones wants another Super Bowl ring. In order to get that, they must defeat the Green Bay Packers. And Green Bay advanced to the championship game, but Tony Dungy and his young chatty defense gave the Pack all they could handle.
Tampa was hoping the third time was the charm against the Packers.
Let's go, let's go.
Kick they tail.
All right, Nardo.
Let's go.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Green Bay's goal on defense was to stuff Tampa Bay's Pro Bowl backfield. The Bucs once again seemed to freeze up on the tundra, while the cool Packer offense was beginning to heat up.
Let's go blue right, tight close, F left.
Green Bay's first touchdown was a typical Brett Favre improvisation.
By Brett. Brett on his feet fires the touchdown. Chamara in the end zone.
Tampa Bay's 3 trips into field goal range yielded 0 points.
A high snap. Goodness. The ball is loose. Diving on it is Michael Houston.
The Packers were unrelenting in trying to pressure Trent Dilfer.
Jet 3 Detroit Arrow X in. Jet 3 Detroit Arrow X in.
Pressure coming. Flushed onto the pocket. Dilfer. Oh, he's sacked and clobbered to the 2-yard line. Sacked and clobbered to the 10 by Leroy Butler.
The pressure paid off as the Buccaneer offense seemed out of sync.
Ball deflected. Kicked off by Tyrone Williams. I'll tell you, just what Tampa Bay didn't want to happen has happened, and of course the Packers.
Dilfer was not the only quarterback under fire. Brett Favre was constantly under attack by Warren Sapp.
Sapp again does his thing. Warren Sapp is having a Pro Bowl kind of game. Warren Sapp said, "Hey, kid, you're not running over my belly button," and he knocked him in the air, and the ball came squirting out. Boy, Warren Sapp is putting on some kind of show in their second-round playoff game.
Sapp recorded 3 sacks and forced 2 fumbles, and more importantly, got inside Favre's head, as the physical battle turned into a war of words. As Favre started to make mistakes, the momentum started to shift.
Here's Favre, the hard throw, and it's picked off. Donnie Abraham at the 6-yard line. Favre threw it the wrong way.
Listen, guys, right now. Lock in right now to every little thing we do has got to be sharp. Right now, we've got to get it done, all right?
In the third quarter, Tampa Bay put together an 8-play, 94-yard drive.
Going to the deep post, downfield, caught Anthony to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Anthony is knocked down to the Green Bay Packer 42-yard line.
What's that, Bucks? Look at him back on their heels. Look at him back on their heels.
Off to with the left. Long 2-1. Touchdown. Tampa Bay.
But that's a great run by All-Star #1 because with his power, with his strength, they anticipate the Packers do him going inside, but shows the great balance by bouncing it outside and taking it in standing up.
Let's go. Good job, Mike.
Hey, let's go get this damn ball back.
The Buccaneers couldn't get the ball back thanks to Dorsey Levens, whose 141 total yards moved the chains and ate up the clock in the fourth quarter. Derek Mays showed great hands, legs, and ankles to put the Packers deep in Buccaneer territory.
Oh, what a play! Caught Derek Mays. What happened was he caught the ball that came loose, but it stayed up on his leg, and he pulled it in before it rolled to the ground.
Come on, Dorsey!
Here's the play, and the handoff goes to Levens. Touchdown! Slides into the end zone. And a big play.
Brett Favre's two-point conversion put the game away.
Here's Brett Favre up underneath. Brett Favre on a quarterback draw, scores the 2. Quarterback draw, perfectly done. And the Packers get the 2 and take a 21-7 lead. It is a win for the Packers and a third straight visit to the NFC Championship game.
I don't care where we play. Right. I really didn't care where we played this game. Well, you're there, and you deserve to be there. You beat a very fine football team today. I promise you I will stay calm this week. All right? Even though we're playing, we're going back to my hometown. All those people are there. I promise you I'm going to stay calm. All right, man. Congratulations. Really, you deserve it. I'm proud of you. The coaches did a marvelous job. Hey, we're there again. Now, listen. One game at a time.
The crystalline palace that was Arrowhead Stadium Sunday formed a glacial setting for the first playoff game ever between two long-time and bitter rivals.
It's the day, baby. 2 weeks off, 2 weeks worth of preparation, just to kick a little butt today.
With a perfect home record, KC was counting on an edge from their frenzied fans against an unshakable nemesis.
Got your message about the crowd noise, but he's the one kid that the crowd is never going to shake.
No.
This 75th meeting matched the Kansas City Chiefs, co-owners of the best record in the NFL, against the wild card, the sky-high Denver Broncos.
We are the strength. The men in this circle. One play at a time. One heartbeat and one victory. Let's go!
The Chiefs' game plan was to feature the ground game against the 29th-ranked run defense. It was a strategy that failed. The visitors were led by number 90, former Chief Neil Smith, who was bent on revenge. Smith had been deemed expendable after 9 seasons in Kansas City. On the other hand, his former pass-rushing partner, All-Pro Derek Thomas, was a complete non-factor throughout the game. After a scoreless first quarter, the Chiefs appeared to draw first blood on a Pete Stoyanovich field goal, but the kicking team was flagged for holding.
Oh, he's holding! He's holding! Yeah! He held him!
The points were taken off the board, and Stojanovich's subsequent kick from 10 yards further out barely missed. The subtracted points would come back to haunt the Chiefs. On the very next series, John Elway caught fire, pitching a pair of passes to wide-open targets for huge yardage. Rod Smith's sideline journey led to the first touchdown of the game.
Handoff Terrell Davis left side, crashes into the end zone, touchdown, Denver.
Terrell Davis's score was the first rushing touchdown allowed by the Chiefs in 42 quarters. On the first snap of the second half, Elvis Grbac shrugged off the yoke of conservatism with a rare downfield pass. Andre Rison's superhero had brought the ball deep into Denver territory.
Back to throw Grbac. Fake pattern near side. Gonzalez reaches up. And it is caught out of bounds by Tony Gonzalez. Darian Gordon was covering for Denver. A late call, incomplete forward pass on a fade pattern to Tony Gonzalez.
Wolf. Now, they hit his upper body out first.
After the rookie's close call, Kansas City cashed in on 3 points, but another excellent opportunity had been squandered by the offense. Late in period 3, they redeemed themselves.
Gerback's throwing it long. He wants Joe Horn deep. Joe Horn over the shoulder catch all the way down to the Denver 14-yard line. Burning Tyrone Braxton, one of the fastest Kansas City Chiefs. Joe Horn on a 55-yard pass play. Kansas City's in business.
Here, Elvis Gerback's agility resulted in the Chiefs' only touchdown.
Gerback wanting to throw the football. In trouble, wheeling around, turning right, holding the ball in the right hand. Still holds it. Now fires it late in his own touchdown. Kansas City. Touchdown. Tony Gonzalez. 12-yard pass play. Kansas City takes the lead.
But just as the game heated up, Kansas City's heralded defense let down. Only minutes after losing the lead, John Elway got it back on the killer play of the day. A crossing pattern to wide open and lonely Ed McCaffrey.
Wide open McCaffrey. Eddie back inside the 10, inside the 5, to the pylon. Is he in? No, he's waved out of bounds. Inside.
From the one, the Chiefs and their coach implored their fans for vocal rescue. But it was all in vain.
Right side, Terrell squares his shoulders into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
Now behind by 4, Kansas City took a surprisingly uncharacteristic gamble, passing up a field goal try in a futile attempt to gain a first down.
Aguiar rolling right. Broncos is going to have it. He's short. He's short. Bronco defense holds.
Big play. And oh, Marty, I thought you were conservative.
With their blown chances looming larger every minute, the Chiefs began one final drive for the touchdown that could win the game. Their most important sequence of the season started well, but ended in disaster. Elvis Gerback drove his team downfield with 7 successful passes. The final minute of a game usually belongs to the quarterback, but poor clock management had left the Chiefs with no timeouts. This, combined with the uproar from their own fans, created the confusion that Gerback never solved.
Clock is running. 27, 26, 25. Gerback, this is 4th and 2.5. This is the game.
Slant!
Straight drop back. Gerback, plenty of time, into the end zone. Pass is going to be knocked away. Incomplete. Incomplete. The Bronco defense holds.
A heck of a football team, but this is not our goal. Man, this is not our goal. This is a step. You enjoy it. We got one thing on our mind, and what's that? Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay.
What a wild time for the wild card Broncos. First, they avenged last season's playoff defeat to Jacksonville. Then they became the first road team to win in Kansas City this year. But they still have unfinished business to take care of. We go inside the playoffs to check the emotional pulse of the Broncos.
Last week's divisional playoff was an emotional, intense thriller, even for 15-year veteran quarterback John Elway.
It's always tough standing and watching, but you just hope and pray that someone comes through and make a play, and defense did that.
Denver's defense did take the burden off Elway. But despite the big win, his teammates know the 37-year-old Super Bowl opportunities are limited.
You look at the moves that this team made in the offseason, they were for John Elway. They want to get John Elway a Super Bowl ring before he's through, and they know that he has a year left, maybe 2, but not much time.
We have a lot of veterans on this team where this could be their last, chance. So, especially for John, I think it would be nice to get John a championship before he leaves the game, and we understand the urgency.
Last week, that sense of urgency was even more intense for former Chief Keith Traylor, who had to play against his ex-teammates just 2 days after losing his mother.
I had quite a bit of motivation over the weekend. You know, I lost my mom, and I flew down the night before the game and flew back, and, you know, I saw my family, and, you know, they all were, you know, pushing me and telling me go ahead, and that's what Mom would want me to go down there and, you know, and handle my business.
We knew what kind of week he was having, and we decided to pick it up and everybody else dig a little deeper and do something that alleviate Keith's loss.
Traylor had been forced out of the game with an injured ankle early in the fourth quarter. But with the Broncos' season on the line, he returned during the Chiefs' final drive, drawing inspiration from his mom.
I think it was the strength from her, yes. It was, let's go, Traylor, let's go. We got to get out there. We got to make something happen.
One guy that's going through some adversity here in the last 2 days is who's getting a game ball, and his mom's up there looking at him. He played one heck of a football game. Keith Traylor.
There's not one football that's ever meant more to Keith Traylor than that one that Mike Shanahan tossed to him after telling the team that we had a man with a heavy heart that went out there and played the best game of his life.
Tears dropped, and, you know, you can't really describe that feeling, you know. It's one of those things, you know, it's like, you know, and that's for, you know, not only myself, but, you know, my family and my mom.
Keith Traylor reminds us all just how human this game is, putting everything else in perspective.
Last Saturday in Pittsburgh, 2 teams were out to avenge past defeats. The Steelers were looking to make up for last year's divisional playoff loss in New England, while the Patriots were hoping to wipe away memories of the game they gave away to the Steelers just 3 weeks earlier.
We got something for these boys. And don't spare me, baby. Don't wait around. Steelers think 60 minutes of football, our style, our way, in our house, man. Let's go.
The first break came just 3 plays into the game.
And he throws the long takeoff pattern down the right sideline. It's intercepted. Chad Scott has it at the 10-yard line. An underthrown ball by Drew Bledsoe.
How do you like this now, Drew? How do you like this now?
On the ensuing drive, the Patriots' defense gave up its only big play of the day.
Action fake. Cordell sprinting to the left. On the run. He gets to the 35, the 30. He's up the left sideline. 20, 15, 10. And he is going to score. That Steeler touchdown from 40 yards out. Cordell Stewart walking the chalk line left sideline near the Steeler bench. He got over a tackler as he turned the corner, and he just turned on the Jets.
Cordell Stewart's 40-yard score was the longest touchdown run in Steelers playoff history and was a combination of great athleticism and execution. Guard Brendan Stye helped open the initial hole. And when tight end Mark Bruner blocked Jimmy Hitchcock clear off the field, it allowed Stewart to continue to the outside rather than cut in.
Yeah, we saw the Patriots kind of like let up a little bit, feeling like he was forced out of bounds.
Well, they did not react the way a championship defense should have reacted.
The New England defense made sure Stewart's score was the last big play it would give up, as Willie McGinnis and the Patriots kept the elusive quarterback in check the rest of the afternoon. New England also limited Pittsburgh's primary weapon, Jerome Bettis, to just 67 yards on 25 carries, as the Patriots denied any further Steelers scoring chances.
Back to throw, he looks, fires right, it is intercepted! Picked off by Steve Israel at the 20-yard line. Great play by Steve Israel, stretched himself out from left to right.
Hey, no. That's defense! No. We started for our game, baby!
But Pittsburgh's blitzing defense came up just as big. And this became the lowest scoring AFC playoff game ever.
Nolan Harrison comes into the backfield and forces the fumble, and Jason Gilden pounces on it.
With his running game non-existent, Drew Bledsoe put the ball up 44 times as he tried to exploit the weak spots in Pittsburgh's coverage. A pair of long completions to Terry Glenn helped set up 2 field goals as the Patriots cut the deficit to 7-6 in the fourth quarter. Midway through the final period, the Steelers finally made another serious run at the end zone. And with 3.5 minutes left, Bettis' near score set up the game's biggest decision.
Here comes the bus rolling down to the 1, and he's just short of the goal line. It's 4th down and goal, and decision time for the Steelers.
I think Bill Carr's going to go for it. You got 3/4 of a yard to go, or make it 2/3 of a yard.
How about half the length of the football? And it's heartthrob time. Is your heart pounding in your chest?
4th and goal at the 1. Stewart calling signals. Quarterback sneak. He is slammed, hit, and dropped. Back at the 3-yard line. Patriots rushed up and met him in midair and drove him back. And the Patriots take over on downs with 3:24 to go. And the ball somewhere inside the Patriot 5-yard line. Kudos for the Patriots defense.
And we want to advance. This is the time. Here we go. Z-on-3. 1, 2, 3.
The Patriots still needed only a field goal to take the lead, and with just under 2 minutes left, they seemed to be driving at will toward the go-ahead score.
In the shotgun again. Bledsoe is back. Pocket collapses. They get to him. Loose football. Steelers have it. Steelers have it.
And that was Mike Vrabel, the rookie from Ohio State, who come up from behind on Bledsoe.
And the Steelers have wrapped it up. How about that? And this one's in the books, but not without a lot of sweat.
Brother.
Let me tell you something, guys. I'm saying this now, and I'll tell you that. I made a mistake in going for it on 4th down. I should have kicked the damn field goal, but you know what? I'm with you guys, win or lose. And I'm going to tell you right now, but I'm young. I make mistakes too.
We're with you.
I'm going to say this. We have one game.
That's right.
You find a way. And I'm going to tell you something. We have 2 games left.
I'd always thought that I was going to be the guy they're going to have to take me out here dragging, kicking, and screaming.
Alone, Brent Jones, touchdown, 49ers, left corner of the end zone.
The last couple of years, I started thinking, it'd be nice to go out on your own terms when you're still at the top of your game and you still can do it.
There's a loop in the air after a fierce hit, hangs onto the ball.
Let's face it, very few football players have the ability to dictate the end of their playing careers. But Brent Jones insists that things are going to be a little bit different for him. He is looking for a storybook ending to a 12-year career that can already be described as some kind of football fantasy. How is this for every kid's childhood dream? Local kid from San Jose who didn't even start his senior year of high school somehow gets a football scholarship to tiny Santa Clara, gets drafted in the 5th round by the Steelers in '86, gets injured and cut as a rookie, then signed by his hometown 49ers and becomes a 4-time Pro Bowl tight end? Nah, couldn't happen.
He's the kind of guy that scratched and clawed his way to greatness, really. And you scratch and claw, you get used to that's how you perform. That's your M.O. Here's a kid that literally, before he went to sleep every night, would catch the ball, toss it up and down to himself 1,000 times before he'd go to bed. I wasn't going to let anybody squash my dream, and it came close to being squashed so many different times. But I just kept chipping away and never gave up and always worked hard.
But Jones and his team never had to work harder than this year. Brent missed 3 games due to a hairline fracture of his leg and disappeared from the offense. New coach on the hot seat. Injuries to Jerry Rice, Young, and Garrison Hurst. Legal problems for owner Eddie DeBartolo, yet finished with the best record in the NFL.
It just started so strange with those injuries and the things that progressed through the weeks. And we had to come together early on. And that adversity built tremendous team unity, and we've just kept it rolling. There's some sparse moments in there, and I think that we'd never had that kind of drought in throwing the football. And there were some times there where we didn't catch a ball, and we didn't know how to explain that, But the last month, suddenly it's turned to where it's normal again, and that feels good.
And last month seemed like the perfect time for Brent Jones to announce the ending of his storybook tale.
It's been an opportunity to live a dream.
I really think I have embraced it and I could handle it, but it was tough actually going through with it. And nervous, a little scared. You just don't know what's out there.
What is looming for Jones is that this NFC Championship game against Green Bay will be his final home game as a 49er.
Every week that goes by, you find him taking a longer and longer look, a longer stare into the crowd. So trying to sit him out with a great retirement present, that's getting to the Super Bowl and winning it.
Now, there's going to always be a part of you, I think, that's left on the field, that's left in the locker room. You just don't want to get so emotional. I think I'm trying to guard against that, because just when you talk about it, I can feel my heart starting to pound, think, boy, that's something I'm going to really have to deal with.
With politics or a broadcasting career in his future, Brent's dream season is near completion. All it needs now is the perfect ending.
The ultimate dream of any player is to walk off the field at the Super Bowl. Being a Super Bowl champion, for me, that'd be the 4th time. That would be the ultimate.
He'd catch the winning touchdown with about 3 seconds left in the clock, and he would take a hellacious hit, and he'd be half groggy, hold on the ball, would be resting on his chest on the end zone, and I'd come up to him and we'd want to, you all right? And he'd be like, yeah, kinda, you know? That's Brent, you know, just clutching that ball. No one takes better care of the football.
So don't wake him up now. Let him hold tight to the ball in that perfect football fantasy. It might just get the kid who couldn't even start in high school one more trip to the Super Bowl.
Dorsey, it seems that every year when the playoffs get rolling, you get hot. Got any explanation for that?
I just get excited. You know, the big games, cameras, national audience. I just want to go out there and perform up to my best. You know, I think the biggest thing, I just don't want to let my teammates down and be one of the guys that step up when the game is on the line.
Dorsey, when you were at Notre Dame, you were 7th string, and the coach calls you in, tells you have no chance of moving up the ladder. Did you ever think your career was over with football?
I definitely thought it was over. You know, when I transferred to Georgia Tech, I thought I was going to go there, get a great education, and make my home in Atlanta and get a good job. You know, I thought I'd give football a shot, but I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, never to the level I made it to right now.
Dorsey, the people that do not live in Green Bay probably don't know about your big fullback, William Henderson. Tell us what his strengths are.
He has one strength that is just to go in there and overwhelm linebackers, and he's been doing a great job all year. You know, my biggest thing is just follow him. I told him beginning of the year I was going to be like his shadow. I'm going to go everywhere he goes, and he's been doing a great job of just moving linebackers out of the hole for me.
Last week you struggled running outside, but you're able to pound that ball in between the tackles. You going to take the same approach this week?
I think we have to. You know, they have a lot of team speed on defense, and running outside is not going to be too effective. I think maybe if we run inside and maybe bounce outside occasionally, that may work. But for the most part, we have to run directly at those guys to try to keep them off balance a little bit.
Dorsey, I think almost all the Green Bay Packers, at least on the offensive side, agree that that was a pretty sloppy game for this offense a week ago. Why do you think that happened?
To be honest with you, we didn't practice really well last week. You know, we did the same thing in practice as we did in the game. We dropped a lot of balls. There are a lot of missed assignments. So our focus this week is to try to have a better week of practice and preparation than we did last week, and hopefully it'll show in the game.
The last time you were a free agent, you got up and moved to Georgia Tech. What do you have planned after this season when you're a free agent?
Hopefully I can stay here. You know, this is where my heart is. I like the offense. I like the coaching staff, my teammates. I really want to stay with the winning program, so hopefully we can get a deal worked out where I can stay here for the rest of my career.
Well, you know, a lot of people think that you might be playing for the Dallas Cowboys next year. Have you thought about that one?
You know, I heard that rumor a couple of days ago, but that was the first time I heard it. I don't know where that's coming from, but who knows?
I want you to tell me about your experience on the Oprah Winfrey Show. You went on there, I guess, because you were looking for a date or something like that, and you got flooded with mail from girls all over the country. How's that been going?
You know, it's really died down a lot. You know, all the letters and stuff have pretty much stopped. But the only bad thing is that the rerun is coming on today. So it might just start all over again. But, I mean, we had a good time. It was fun. You know, I got a chance to meet Oprah and hang out with some good friends of mine.
Well, I would imagine you probably have some friends that are willing to take on some of those letters. But we appreciate you taking some time to be with us, and good luck this week.
Thank you.